Hi, this is Rick Harmon talking to you from the big red leather chair in Carbon Canyon, California. And today I'm ranting about problems. They're time problems, or are they really people problems? How many times do you have a client who comes to you, or even if it's you, and you've got a problem going on that really you just dread, and you've dreaded maybe for days, weeks, maybe even months? So we've just completed a lot of this in the matter regarding trusts. And so what we've been doing is we've been working with a lot of people who have Prop 19s. Proposition 19 in California, if you're not familiar with it, has really caused a lot of people some grief. They voted for one thing, but they got something else. And so what we've been doing is we've been doing a lot of loans, fiduciary mortgages, specifically on California real estate. And what these are intended to do is so that people could provide the liquidity and still qualify to keep the properties within the confines of Proposition 19. And why this is kind of important to us, I should say, is because most of what we do really are people problems, even though they appear to be time problems. So yeah, we have done a lot of loans that have been kind of, if you will, a money play, if you will, a way to save taxes. And by the way, the law changes such that on Monday that loophole goes away. So if you're impacted by it, you can talk to your attorney or your tax professional. But it's too late to do a loan. So we're kind of happy to be, beyond that. Most of the clients that come to me, frankly, are dealing with some other kind of a liquidity issue. So they think they're dealing with a time problem, but really what they're dealing with is a people problem, because people dread taking care of business. So what happened is, over the course of some months, we had people who came to us and they wanted to borrow and they wanted to save some money in taxes, but they took their sweet time and they couldn't decide whether to do it, and after all, it's an additional expense. So we had a number of people who came to us and they saw the logic in it, so we did this. But some people were just compelled to do too little too late and weren't able to help them. So that's the way it is. So what am I ranting about this week? Well, I'm just kind of ranting about what I'm watching with the market. And right now the real estate market is absolutely on fire. And a lot of people who are really convinced that the thing to do is to take their money, sell the property, and move to Texas or Arkansas or Tennessee. And I'm sure those are all fine places, but once they sell, that's going to be pretty tough for them to move back to California. And you really can't beat our weather most of the time. Maybe not today; it's a little gray out. But I got to tell you, our political system right now, and this is not a political dig, but these things are not permanent. California is not going away. The politicians may. So what I'm suggesting you consider doing, if you or someone you know is considering if they are going to move, they give it a second thought if they can find a way to stay here, if they can find a way to keep a property going. Some of the people that come to us, what they'll do is they'll have a plan in mind, and their short-term plan is to have a liquidity so they can buy out somebody else and other beneficiaries, other heirs, if it's a probate estate. And what they'll do is the loan will actually go to the estate or to the trust in some cases. And then what they are able to accomplish with that is that now the estate or the trust now has a cash infusion. So an awful lot of people come to us with some really ugly, nasty, messy, sticky kinds of problems that are delicate. Sometimes the problems are not really the type of things that they want to talk about all the details. We understand that. So what I really try to do is when people come to me is I have a conversation with them that tries to see if we have a lot of problem with an overwhelm. And if the client has, if they have a strong feeling of overwhelm, what we'll do is we'll spend some time together and chat about what the priorities are and what's the most important thing to do. And if your hair is on fire, the first thing to do is to put the fire out. But if you're being consumed slowly by something else, it may be something that takes a little more time. If you're in quicksand, it may not be something that's instantaneous. And so what we try to do is we try to sit down and decide what those things are going to be, and that we have to do, what order of priority they're going to be. And then that's really how it all works out. So it's always a pleasure to talk to people, especially people who understand they have a problem and they're trusting to someone who's been through this. And I've been through these things too, with both the states and trusts. So anyway, happy to talk to you. If you are in trouble and all that, I suggest you might want to not only look at the other YouTube videos, but you also go to our website if it's something you decide. If you're in charge of a California probate estate or a trust, you can go to closeprobate.com. Anyway, good to see you. Be good to yourself.